That's right, Lynx. We're going to show them the garden. So what's going on, YouTube? Just want to do a little update of my patio container garden here. We are already into September, which is crazy. But yeah, garden's doing okay. There was a pretty big hailstorm about a month and a half ago, like in July, and it really wiped out like all my squash plants. But they have come back, but unfortunately I think the issue is they put a lot of their energy back into creating new leaves, so they're not fruiting a ton. I do have some zucchinis. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in this container, but I'm also getting a little bit of this weird little end rot on them, so I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with that. I only got 2 in there. These ones look like they're doing okay though, but yeah, they're getting that kind of weird like nipple end to them, so I don't know if that's a nutrient deficiency or what the deal is exactly with that. But moving on, my peas did pretty good. Got a couple peas to harvest out of here, but they're starting to die off because they're more of a cold weather crop. But shout out for these little felt potters. They're kind of nice. They seem to do pretty well. Moving on over here, we got habaneros. So we got a couple habanero peppers coming in. This is doing pretty good. Probably need to actually harvest these guys pretty soon. Nice looking habaneros. And then these are some sort of basil that I planted in the same container. This one seems to be doing better than the green guys, but these are basil of some kind. So maybe use that, make a little pesto or something. Got a couple little chard plants in here. This one seems to be doing better than his competitors, but this red chard has just been really slow this year. I've got another chard plant over there, and that one's just took off. This is my ghost pepper plant. It's just finally starting to blossom, so I think I had this plant last year and it never flowered, so I'm hoping to get a couple ghost peppers off of it. Got yellow zucchinis in here that are doing pretty good. Tomatoes got pretty beat up too by that hailstorm, but they're coming along now. These are Romas, and then this plant is called Rapunzel, and it makes lots of tiny little tomatoes, but they're pretty good. This tomato, I've got 2 tomato plants in this one. This one's really been struggling, and again, I think it's because I tried a different brand of soil in this one. I mean, I had a lot of vegetative growth, but not really much in the way of flowering and getting actual tomatoes off of it. And the tomatoes I have gotten here, these were supposed to be grape tomatoes, but they just, yeah, they're kind of ratty looking. Do have one decent sized tomato coming over there, but not doing the best. This is my favorite tomato plant. These are like black cherry tomatoes. This one's done pretty well. I've actually harvested quite a bit off of that. We got one lonely corn stalk. Then I did a container of just corn, and I guess there were some pole beans in there too. The beans got overtaken by the corn, but I'm curious. It looks like I've got a little ear of corn growing right there. Growing corn in the container has just been kind of an experiment for me. It doesn't seem to do that great in containers, but I really just more or less grow it for the decoration purposes, because once we get into October, I'll cut these stalks and maybe tie them up and make a little fall decoration. These are red potatoes, and I think I'm at the point where I'm probably gonna harvest this and basically just dump out the container and then see how many potatoes I get. So I'll do a separate video on that. This was tatsoi, and then I planted kale in there. I had 2 absolutely gorgeous kale plants. This one's starting to come back, but they got raided by these little asshole caterpillars, and as you can see, they had their way with this thing. Another interesting thing is that the tatsoi plant went to seed, and the seeds are definitely viable. So all these little plants growing in here, that's new tatsoi. If you're not familiar with tatsoi, it's kind of like a Asian spinach almost. It's really good. But yeah, next time I'm gonna harvest the kale a little bit sooner before my caterpillar friends get to it. Then we're up here, we got some peppers going on. We got one other tomato plant that's doing so-so. It's starting to get there. I did have to add some I have some Happy Frog tomato fertilizer, so adding that in really seemed to help, because I was getting kind of like a blossom rot on the bottom of these tomatoes. But as you can see with this one, it's doing better. So all an experiment. This I'm pretty proud of. It is the Trinidad scorpion pepper. I think this is the 3rd hottest pepper on earth. Oops, let me zoom out, and I've got a couple of these growing on this plant. I don't want to touch these peppers because they're like wicked hot, so I don't want to get that capsaicin on my skin. Hungarian wax pepper, I harvested off of this. It's doing okay. Cayenne pepper plant came back well, and I'm getting a lot of cayenne peppers. These are banana peppers. This is doing okay as well. Sriracha pepper, a little bit hotter than your average jalapeno. Been harvesting slowly off of that. And then back here are shishito peppers, which are actually very mild. Those are great to pan fry. So the peppers are doing okay. I had one survivor in my herbs. This is English thyme. I had one plant come up. I planted thyme and rosemary, but they didn't really seem to do too good. But I'll give them another try. This is also Swiss chard, like I said. This is doing pretty good. I need to harvest some off of that. And then this is Carolina Reaper, which is the hottest pepper in the world, but he has really been kind of a disappointment. I replanted it into this pot just to see if it would do any better. It's starting to grow leaves now, but I don't think we're gonna see any peppers off of it. So anyway, yeah, just want to do a little update on my garden, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.